Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here on the Chao Phraya River. And what we're going to take a look at today is one of my favorite temples here in Ayutthaya. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got the old, it's got the new, it's got just some really cool stuff to see here. We're going to look at the murals, we'll look at the old ruins, the Reclining Buddha, and the Khmer-style prongs. This is Wat Phutthaisawan. It used to be Wiang Lek, I think, and it goes back to about 1350 when King Utong was getting ready to found the city. This was his former royal palace. He had his palace here, and then he ordered the construction of the temple. And then in like 1353, there was a plague, so they moved all the temple complex and everything over to Wat Phutthaisawan, which is on the city island. So we're going to walk through here, we'll take a look, and enjoy the day. What you see here, this is the Chao Phraya River, and it is running bank to bank. It's quite high. It isn't quite flooding here yet, but it's getting pretty close. And then what you see over there is St. Joseph Church, and then there's some mosques and other stuff in this area. And right across the way, right over there, that is Ayutthaya. And it's pretty cool. They got a lot of little coffee shops and restaurants and stuff on the south end of the island. All right, let's go look at the ruins, and then we'll look at the Khmer-style stuff. Right out here by the river, they have this 5-king shrine. And over here, this is King Rama IV, and then King Ayutthaya, which was King Narasawan's younger brother, who was an important king. And then King Utong, here's King Narasawan, and King Taksin. All these are really, really important kings for the Thais. And the one in the middle there, that's King Utong, and this is where his former royal palace was at. And this part over here, this is some of the new stuff. So you can go in there, they have all the, like the meeting halls and stuff like that. And then we have a pretty cool looking bell tower. And then you see this Khmer-style prong. And then they have some modern Buddhas down here below. They built these small little wihans and shrines and stuff like that. And inside this building right here, this is quite cool. They have some old Ayutthaya era murals, and we'll go up there and we'll look at those. Yeah, and this is a fantastic building. So inside of here are some murals that date back to the Ayutthaya era, to King Petracha's reign. They have the scenes of the Buddha's life, they have the scenes of the homage to Sri Lanka to see the Buddhist footprint, and modern day life and stuff like that. So these were painted kind of between 1688 and 1702. Check out that humongous bell, and you can come and bang on it. They have the mallet over there. Let's go up these stairs. Now the bottom floor is locked up, you can't go in there. That's where the head monk at this temple stays. And there's supposed to be some murals and stuff inside of there also. And then this is a recent remodel. They've been fixing it up, putting all the marble and all the ceramic tiles and stuff all around here, and the Naga. All right, let's go up here and let's see these murals now. Yeah, this little part of the temple right here is one of my favorites at this temple. This wall, these old murals. And they're pretty faded, but I mean, they're several hundred years old. It's kind of amazing that they've withstood the test of time. Now you could tell they're Ayutthaya era. You can see the jagged line up there. So they did different panels and they separated them by kind of a jagged line. And then the use of the colors. The modern ones will have all these blues and everything else in it. Well, these are like more red and the colors are more subdued. You can just make out like a bowl, some of the people right there. And it's just faded off. It's a real shame, but these were some of the most famous ones during the Ayutthaya era in here. Right here you can see that has the lower panel, and then right here in the middle are some ships. Then you have the life of the Buddha up above, and these walls are all bowed. I mean, just really, really old. And you can see the Buddha footprint. That's where they made a voyage to Sri Lanka to see the Buddha footprint. And I think this scene right here is the flooding of the earth scene. Can't quite see if this is the goddess of the earth wringing her hair, but it kind of looks like it here on the side. You got these guys with the little cannons, swords. You got elephants in there. Yeah, really, really cool. And then it just goes along on all of the walls. Some of them are completely faded off, and others have some pretty good detail. Yeah, it was a great little building. Let's go in here. We'll make our way over to the ruins. Right over here by that building with all the murals is this right here. And there's a little shrine. Let's go back in there and take a look at it. Back in here, they have kind of a cool little place. You can see one of the old chetties. It's wrapped in all the vines and trees, and another one over there. And then back in here, they'll have a shrine, and everybody will pray to one of the Buddha images. And they sell all the amulets and stuff. It's a kind of a cool chetty. That's over there in the trees. And a bunch of stuff out there. And this is the little shrine over here. It's kind of hard to see the Buddha image that's back in there. But people come here and pray and light the candles. You can actually see it from the side a little better. So it's behind glass, and they have all kinds of stuff around it. And people leave the little flowers and burn the joe sticks and everything. This is kind of different. So they have the swords that they've jammed down into the sand, and then they burn the humongous joe sticks. And that's just what's right over here. All right, let's go back out and look a little more. Here's the goddess of the earth that wrings her hair and floods the earth. This is just back here, kind of in between the old and the new. Okay, that was interesting enough. Now let's go into this old building over here and look at the Buddha. You can see the absolutely massive Buddha stones. You see there's the double row, and they're huge, which is kind of the old way that they did it here. And the two signify that it's supposed to be a royal temple. Now, it looks like we won't be able to go inside here, but we can look at it from the front. Sometimes they'll have this open where you can go inside, but not right now. Just the middle doors open so you can just view the Buddha image. Yeah, and this is what it looks like inside. So you see they've done like the mother of pearl columns with like the lotus flowers up top, and then a really nice Buddha image. And if you notice, it's just smiling a little bit. And it has the red teak wood ceiling, and then it has the elevated platform for the monks to come over and do their chanting. Yeah, this is an old Ayutthaya building that they've maintained, and it's just really, really nice. Yeah, what a great building that is. You can see the tops of the columns. Now we'll go over here. We'll come back and we'll look at the huge Khmer-style prongs. That'll be the last things we look at here. Yeah, you can see the faux columns that are decorated on top, and then these humongous Buddha stones, and then the Ayutthaya style chetty here. Oh, there's so much to see at this temple, and we haven't even got into the real good stuff yet. Through here we'll have the little gallery. This little cloister here surrounds the main Khmer prong. You can see just all of the images that are facing towards the prong. Yeah, it's pretty cool with the solid wall, and then the columns that leave it open so you can look towards the inside. And then you see the old part over here. This is an old Wean, and that's where we'll go next. But definitely worth your time to come here and see this. This is really nice. And it is a popular place for the Thais to come over. It's free. You don't have to pay to come in here. A lot of these sites in Ayutthaya anymore are all pay, but this one here is still free. Then right over here, this is the old temple complex. And like I said at the start, this was ordered to be built by King Utong in 1350 before they established Ayutthaya a year later. And this would have been the royal palace, and it would have just been fantastic here. Several of these little buildings are in really good shape, but they're locked up. You won't be able to go inside of them. You have things like this chetty, so you can actually go up on the platform and you can walk around it. It has the little notches for the Buddha images, and it has still tons of the plaster work. So you see all that lotus flower pattern work, all the columns. It had the rails, really a nice chetty. And it's just right here on the other side of that wall is the Chao Phraya. And this is the Wiang Lek, I think is what the name of this was. This chetty here is missing the top, and part of the little rings around the top are right here on the ground. They've fallen off. Yeah, you have several of these little buildings here that still have the plaster work on them. These are always locked up. They're bowed in the middle like a boat. I would really like to be able to get in there and see them one of these days. How cool is this old building? You can see the top still has the lotus flowers. Oh, I would love to be able to get in here and see these. Maybe one of these days. You can see the old wooden door and then the outer gate. It just has chetties and everything else here. Now inside of this part is the old Wean, and this was just absolutely massive. So the normal structure of these Thai temples, you would have had a Wean with the chetty in the middle, and then it would have the ubasot, and the ubasot was the one that they still use. So it's been restored and fixed up. Well, this is down to the base and a little bit of the walls. And then this is a fantastic chetty. You see the redented corners, the lotus flowers, and then it goes right up to the finale up there. Yeah, it's in really good shape. Whenever this was new, it would have been whitewashed and would have been spectacular. Now it just kind of gets that brown or that black mold on it, but it's still nice to see. Okay, so here is the humongous Wean. And inside, so these would have been the columns, and I'm not sure what they would have put right there. This would have been like the front door, so you would have had like a balcony here, and you would have had a Buddha image, and then you could see the walls, and then these columns would have just been absolutely massive. So it would have been real similar in size to what we saw, and then in that new one, or the one that's been restored, they would have had the lotus flowers on the top, and then you'd have went out of the back door into the gallery, and then would have saw that Khmer-style prang. The columns would have been octagonal, and you see how much plaster they put on them. And then this would have been the main pedestal with a huge Buddha image. And I'm not sure what this is about. I don't know if this was those ones like the Sukhothai style. You would have seen a standing Buddha over here. It would have had one on each side. And then you could see a bunch of the smaller fragments up there. Yeah, but there's not a hole over here, so I don't know if that might be just part of the reconstruction. They didn't fix that or what. And you can see what's cool is they carved all of the brick and they shaped it, and they would have put plaster over the top. And you could see some of the sandstone Buddha images, like the face over there, and then just the random body parts. And there are laterite stones here. So I don't know if they robbed these from the Khmer outpost that was here or what, because they've incorporated those into the pedestal. But I'm sure they did. They wanted to do as little work as possible. You didn't want to cut stones or make brick if you could avoid it. All right, and then over here, this is a real treat here. We'll look at this reclining Buddha. On the other side, those buildings that are intact that were just white, this is what is inside, is all these little Buddha images. And then there would have been a chetty between them. You can see they've actually expanded that chetty. It was smaller. And then this is the Wean that has the reclining Buddha. And this is the image here. So this has been restored. This isn't how it looked whenever they started a restoration here at this temple. So they put new plaster and stuff like that on it. The old one would have been just weathered too bad. You can see they've put the robe over the top of it. And this would have all been enclosed originally. And it's not too big, so they wouldn't have had to have the support beams in this side of this Wean. A lot of the old ones were so big, they'd have a massive building and they'd have these support beams so you couldn't see the Buddha image. But this one here is the right length, and they could just do this with the outer walls holding the weight of the roof. And what's interesting, you see those eyes are the inlay, is the hand. The fingers are bent. Normally the hand is perfectly straight. Yeah, pretty cool. And then it has a couple smaller little Buddha images over here. And then the wall is completely missing here. Really cool image in this one though. And you can see the top knot and the hair rolls. Yeah, this would have been probably the later Ayutthaya when they built this building. But look at how much the bricks have completely wore here. The early Ayutthaya, they had to use more columns. The late Ayutthaya, they had some of the Western styling and they used the load-bearing walls. Now let's go look at our last little bit here, the Khmer-style prongs. We'll go back into the gallery. So in the old days, the back of the Wean would have been open. You would have came right into the gallery right here. Yeah, these doors are locked up now, but you would have came here. This would have been all enclosed, but it's right here where you can see the prong now since the roof is missing. Now what's cool is you have two images, one on each side. Then you have a Buddha footprint, and then you have a little chamber there at the bottom of the prong. Let's go in and we'll look at this one first, then we'll go into the middle, and then we'll go look at the other one. Yeah, it's really cool. So still whitewashed, has the black mold growing on it. And this would have been Chinese style around here. So you see right there, that would have been like one of the plates that they would put in, but it's missing. And then this is the image right here. It's quite massive. Now you smell the guano. Bats live in here, the same as the other prongs. Yeah, so I have a couple small little images. And it still has the teak wood up there. And you can even see the bats. You can see they're kind of hanging out up there. And then this huge, huge image. And then there's another small Buddha right here next to it. It's on a humongous base also. Yeah, really nice. It's kind of cracking a little bit. The fingers are cracked, but it's still really nice to see. And I really like the little platform it's on too, with this rail. And you can see the styling up above. This little place here that has the image, and then you can see some of the little floral designs right there that they put out of the little pieces of pottery. All right, let's go into the little prong. Now this one here was built in the late Ayutthaya, but they think it was built over the top of an early Ayutthaya one that would have been a lot slimmer, and there would have been no lintel. In a Khmer style, they would have had a lintel right above the door, but the Ayutthaya didn't incorporate that into their architecture. Yeah, you can see it's just built right into the wall. And I'm not sure what that is right above it there, but this would have all had murals. And then you see the top of this little chetty, and then it has like little Buddhas and stuff like that inside of here. Oh, really cool. Okay, let's go look at the third little building here in the center. And this is the last one. It has the little Naga out here guarding. And then the last image. Now you can climb up onto this prong. There's some little shrines and stuff like that. Yeah, you can climb up right to there. You can see the kind of the windy staircase. And this is what this one looks like. So it's just like the other one on the other side. It kind of gives it the balance. This one here actually is in a little better shape. It's not cracking. And it has the smaller little images here next to it also. And there's bats flying around in here also. They're getting ready. They'll come out here in a little bit and eat some bugs. One last look at the prong here. Oh, it's fantastic. You see up at the top has the staff of Shiva, all the Khmer details that are in it. Yeah, if it was a regular Khmer prong, all those, they're kind of little triangles there. Those would have been images all up along the way. But they mimicked the styling, which they kind of gave it the Thai style. Oh, it's fantastic though. And this is just all the little gallery, and it's popular for the Thais to come over and take pictures and see this also. You have a couple more smaller little shrine buildings in between the prong and that Wehan. Have a cool chetty over there, a really cool shrine there. Then you have kind of this little Wehan that's open air. This was built on the original footprint here. This would have had walls and everything at one time. And then you have bamboo and all the trees growing here. Just really, really cool stuff. You can see all the way the plaster was. It's kind of flaked off. But you can see it up there. And then this is built like a little boat here. The Chinese junk ship, which would have been the Ayutthaya styling. And this is what it looks like inside. And there's all kinds of bats in here also. Oh, this is unbelievable. I like it. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at Wat Phutthaisawan, or Wiang Lek, I think is what it was originally called. This is one of my favorite temples here in Ayutthaya. I've been here many times and I'll come back again and again. It's really beautiful. I like the styling with the old and the new, has the Khmer styling. I like these old shrine buildings that are scattered all around. And it's in a great location. It's west of the Chao Phraya over here, and kind of on the south side of the city. The tourists, you don't get the big crowds over here, but this is one of the best sites in my mind. It's probably at least in the top 5, but most people don't come over here to it. If you do get a chance, I would definitely recommend it. It's great. You can explore and it's free, and just you can take your time. There's not people pushing you, or you're not in a hurry. So you can come over here and explore it at your leisure. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you get to see more content like this. I make a lot of videos of old temples and historical sites that I see. So if you like this kind of content, you're in the right spot. And if you've been here, or if you have any questions or comments, ask me down below. If you want me to go see something else, then leave me a comment down below and tell me that also. But over here from Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.